All right, everybody, welcome back to the second part of the Two Broke Gamers podcast. Ricky,
Steve.
all right, let's get Steve. Let's
Yeah.
go into this. All the gaming news right now. We're going to talk about Yooka Laylee. Yooka Laylee had a new goal for backers, only for the backers. Now, if they hit 2 million or over 2 million, which they already did, they're going to get DLC for free only to the backers. That's it.
But it's, if you're donating for DLC, you're paying for DLC.
I guess.
You're,
Well-
you're getting it for free by donating, which means you're paying for it.
Well, you know what, though? I didn't donate to this to Yooka Laylee, so I would have to pay for it and pay for the game.
Well, I mean, you're donating, so you're giving money, which means you're buying DLC.
So it's not really free, man.
it's not really free.
Read between the lines, people. Read between the lines, man. The more you know.
The more you know, exactly. They're saying, oh, yeah, you're going to get the DLC for free by giving us money, which you're buying DLC.
I want to talk about the new character. It's his name is
funny.
his name is Trouser with a Z. He's a snake. He's a trouser snake.
The trousers, the snake.
I find that hilarious. I think.
Is this game going to be rated teen or mature or something?
I don't think they talked about a rating. Funny enough, but
No, but like his name is Trouser Snake.
well, his name's Trouser.
Trousers the
But
snake.
he's
But
a
anyone with a brain could put together. Oh, gee, Trouser Snake. I wonder what that is.
I mean, I still think it might be rated E, like Banjo-Kazooie. If this is supposed to be a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Kazooie is rated E. Obviously, this should be rated E too. This is not a spiritual successor.
E10. Let's go E10.
You know what? I'll give you E10. I'll give you E10. But I mean, look at Conquer. Conquer is rated M for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
they're not
Conquer was very adultish.
very adultish.
Yeah.
Very much adult. Yes. Now, something we were kind of mentioning, but we didn't really bring up. Project Cars came out to huge success in the UK. I don't know about here in the US, but I know it was huge release. But I seen video finally of people playing it. It looks boring as hell. It just reminds me too much of Gran Turismo, which is also I consider boring. People love that type of game, and people love Project Cars. So all kudos to them.
Yeah, if it's your thing, then it's your thing.
Yeah,
It's not our thing.
no, not really. I just wanted to bring it up because
I'm not really a big racing fan.
I do like some racing games, like like something where full of action, like
Mario Kart.
No, not even that. But one of my favorite ones was Burnout, because the thing is too, I love crashing cars and not having to crash my car and have to repair it on the side with money. No, that's dumb. No.
I think that's cool though.
No, dude, this is
And
not
like
real
that-
life.
But it should be. If you mess up your car in a race, you have to pay for it.
No, it has to blink and come back to normal. That's all. That's how
No.
video games work.
No,
This is a video game.
if you screw up your car in a race, you have to pay to fix it.
No, it's a game. This is not real life. This is not real life, damn it.
It's real life racing the game.
Damn
I like
Steve.
it. I like that.
I don't like that. But you know what the thing is, I like I said, I like certain racing games. I like fast, and I don't have to worry about like hitting or that. Not just go and do crazy stuff, and that's it. And if I crash my car, I blink and I'm back in the race, and I have
You know
to
what
keep
though?
going.
But you know what though?
What?
When you play a game, you have to pay to repair your car. You learn to drive better. Because you're like, I don't want to have to pay to repair my car. Let me not hit everything.
I guess, but that's not my thing. If anything, I have to concern myself with a real life car.
You know
That's
what?
when you
know what?
drive carefully.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to buy Project Cars, and I'm going to play just so I have to repair my cars when I hit things.
Oh man. Anyway, Ubisoft was talking about the new Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Of course, not coming for the Wii U. All the other stuff.
I thought you were going to do your whole but the Wii U. is
I
not.
just was gonna skip it. Like now, it's just obvious at this point. It just is. And I mean, granted, there's a reason. I mean, Ubisoft went over sales recently too, and they just went over all the sales and what all the consoles have to do. The Wii U amounted for 1% of the sales.
Because they didn't come out with anything for it.
Yeah, that's true too.
How are you going to be like, well, you were 1% of our... That'd be like, oh, Ricky, you accounted for 0% of my homemade meals. Because you didn't cook me any.
That is true. But what's interesting is the amount of people who have the most, the biggest percentage, I mean to say, was the PlayStation 4 and the PC. They were tied for 23% of the market of sales and money that they made for Ubisoft. So that's not bad. Xbox One was 19%, with 360 being 10%. The PS3 with 8%, and the Wii, the Wii made 4%. So then again,
Because Ubisoft had games for the Wii.
that's true.
They
No.
didn't. They don't have games for the Wii U.
Not any games that really people care about anyway.
I think
guess.
they have like one Assassin's Creed game out of like the 7 that have come out
In the last, like,
in the
year.
last 2 years.
Yeah.
And they have like one Rayman game.
Yeah, you're right.
They have one Rayman game and one Assassin's Creed game. That's like 2 games. Maybe they have a third hidden game that I just don't know about. But for the most part, they don't have any games for the Wii U. That's why they're not making money off the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid.
Stupid.
God.
Why be so stupid,
God, it's so
Ubisoft?
Stupid. Ugh.
All right, Konami. We're talking about them right now. They're talking about their profits now. Their profits are up, and that's mostly because of mobile gaming. Their console, presence is kind of like, and that's because of basically Metal Gear Solid. After they're done with that seems to be maybe their last game. Who knows? On consoles, they do want to still continue that series, but mobile's been giving them a lot of money, which is probably why they're going for mobile.
Mobile seems to be where it's at.
Yeah, and it just I guess goes to show that maybe Konami knows what they're doing. They just want to go where the money is. They feel like maybe people aren't gonna buy their games, even though people love Metal Gear, people love other games that they've created in the past. I don't know if they created anything hot for the future now, but I don't know. They're just gonna give up on all that and
Maybe
just go
we'll
for mobile,
get Metal Gear for the mobile.
which would suck. I mean, I don't know, but then again, too, I mean, I don't need another like Temple Run Metal Gear type of game, that type of thing, or some sort of scrolling game. I don't know. Mobile gaming's weird. It's just weird.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they do.
Now, we're done talking about now. Speaking of Konami, there was the person who basically created Castlevania. He was a Castlevania producer. He was actually talking about Konami a little bit too, and the whole situation with Hideo Kojima. Now, this is Koji Igarashi. He was talking about this a little bit. And here's his quote about it, about the whole thing. He's let me see. He's talking about the actual thing. He's heard about it, but it's like mostly been through like basically secondhand. So he's basically hearing what we're hearing. So this is what he said. As a top-level creator who was also put in difficult situations in which he had to make difficult choices, it's always sad when really interesting franchises or talented creators end up not being able to make the thing that they've made in the past that has made fans so happy. Speaking brutally honest, that has generated revenue in the first place. So it's kind of a sad day to hear that it's all happening that way. But while it's sad, he understands that Konami is a corporation, and they naturally and organically chase money. It's a business.
Yeah.
That's the key definition of it. He understands the casino and sports club businesses. That's what's making the money. So if you're created with a fan base that wants a certain game that isn't hitting the profit bar or isn't necessarily as profitable as casino or sports clubs in this situation, it's fortunate to have another option like Kickstarter. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and this is what the guy who created, who's the producer of Castlevania actually did. So he spoke about the whole situation, and he actually bought a spiritual successor. How's that sound familiar to everybody else? I mean, but everybody's bringing their spiritual successor to Kickstarter. Mega Man, Banjo-Kazooie, now Castlevania, which was just revealed on Kickstarter called Bloodstained, which from one
That's
image
a
of the
cool
theme,
name.
yeah, doesn't it sound cool? Looks like it has a female lead, and it looks really awesome. If it's going to be the spiritual successor to Castlevania, I'm with it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's already on Kickstarter. It already hit its goal, of course. Of course it did. Already made $1 million over one day, and the goal was actually $500,000.
There are a lot of like super fans in the world.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? That's the same thing that happened with Mega Man. Look what happened with Mighty Number 9, and we got that coming out this year. And then also with Banjo-Kazooie. And it's like, I mean, at this point, like every creator of a game that can't make anymore might as well just leave their companies and go to Kickstarter, because that seems to be the thing. Let's make it a spiritual successor to everything I've made that I don't have the rights to.
Basically. But it's working out because they're getting the funding through people.
They're getting money. Yes, they are. That's for damn sure. And, hopefully the game will be good. That's the other thing, too. We got to see what the gameplay is and everything stuff. But it already seemed interesting. The pictures and the drawing of the characters seem to be good. We'll link that, of course.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's I hope the best for them, in all honesty.
Yeah. You never what you I don't I'm certainly not gonna wish them ill will.
Like I hope your game sucks. It doesn't make any money.
Yeah, no, best of luck, man.
Now, one last thing I want to talk about before we go into Nintendo's portion of the thing. There's a retro system coming out, or at least wants to come out anyway. Or is it, or wants to? I don't know. I think it's actually in Kickstarter. Actually, sorry, wants to come out. It's actually a console. I don't know if it wants to or is, but whatever. That's not the point. What the actual console is it's called Retro VGS or Retro Video Game System, and basically the point of it is not to play your old games. Like, you're not going to be able to play NES games, SNES games, Sega Genesis games. It's not the point of that. You have Retro N for that. What this console wants to do is bring new games in an old style. So if anybody wants to release games on cartridges, there we go. You have an option now.
I mean, cartridges were cool because they were basically indestructible.
And still are.
Well, yeah, but they don't make them anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But the other thing is too, like, sometimes the cartridges just go bad on the inside.
Well, that's because people don't care of it. I mean, what if you let water into your freaking
like, how many
thing?
times did you have to blow in your cartridge?
But that actually was not good for the cartridge.
Well, yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes that's the only way to get it to work.
Yeah, it's dust. You're just going to clean up the little edges. That's it. Unless now you have the newfangled technology and you could cover that now and you can be good.
Whatever.
It is the year 2015. We can figure how
we
to
can
make
do things.
We can figure this out.
We have the technology. We just don't want to spend that much money on it.
Well, that's the other thing too. Now, how many people are going to be down with that? Because it's a lot of money to make cartridges. A lot of money. But that's why cartridges are much more expensive, even with inflation. If they had to release them today, than discs. Discs. I mean, they just have the game. That's it.
It's a CD.
Yeah, it's a CD, DVD, Blu-ray, whatever it is, but it just has the game. The actual hardware costs more now because it needs to house the power and house all that. Oh, yeah, so the money. As far as inflation, yes. The games are going to cost more than even the discs, and that's because, power and everything. Because back then, all the power was in the cartridge. So that's why cartridges were vary from 4 megs, which, the thing was super small, to 32 megabits and all that stuff. So the cartridges were always going to be expensive. And now, if you're going to be an independent company putting out a cartridge-based game for a new console...
Cartridges be way too expensive.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is really going to work. It sounds like a cool idea.
It sounds like a cool idea in theory, but in practicality and practice, it's probably not the best thing.
But, I mean, I understand the longevity of it, too, because, think about it. Are you even going to play your 360 or able to play your 360 in the next, 10, 20 years?
Why not?
Well, because, you need an internet connection, and then you have to connect to all your downloadable games that are on your console.
If you have a single-player game, if you want to play Elder Scrolls, you don't need an internet connection.
True. But now, I mean, I don't know. I guess the point is just the fact that no matter what, you can play these games, without any problem, without any DRM blocking, without having to have an internet access. You just cartridge, and you're good.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. If it's going to cost me an arm and a leg to buy one, I'm good. I'll pass. Stick to CDs.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna do it via Kickstarter. So it looks like it's an idea that's put out there. How it actually is gonna go, I don't know. But I mean, I hope the best of that guy. But I just don't know. I just think of the pricing of it, and I just don't think a regular independent creator is gonna be able to have the money to put out a cartridge-based game in this day and age.
I don't see this idea taking off. Like I said, it sounds really good, but at the same time, doesn't. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
I contradict myself, but it doesn't. It doesn't. I don't know.
We could be wrong, though. You could also comment and tell us that we're wrong. Of course, we welcome that. Moving on to Nintendo. Now, Nintendo talked about their financial report. They made a profit for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, right.
Which is great, and they're making lots of profit. Now, they talked about what they're going to do for the next fiscal year. We're just talking about DLC for Mario Kart 8 and Smash Brothers, which more DLC for Mario Kart. Give me. I'll give you all my money right now for that. Just all the money. Because the Mario Kart DLC has so far not let me down. And I love it. Now, I did want to mention, too, I remember mentioning that Mario Kart I felt like was a tiny bit of a gyp. But, because there basically was no type of battle mode whatsoever. So I felt like I maybe have been gypped $10 maybe. But the free DLC so far has made up for it. Not the Mercedes one, but the actual 200cc.
Yeah.
And the new DLC that I paid a very, very, very low price for paid off very well for that. And I would gladly pay for more Mario Kart 8 DLC. As far as Smash Bros. DLC, of course, you still have more to come with that. And then, of course, the mobile gaming and such, which Nintendo has announced, too, that they're going to release at least 5 digital apps by the end of next year, I believe. So, yes,
cool.
which is really good. I just wanted to get the actual amount because I know they're gonna at least release one this year for sure.
Yeah,
like their first digital app, whether it be a game, whether it be something else. But That's happening soon. That's happening this year, by the end of this year.
So,
Also, speaking of Mario Kart, the producer of the Mario Kart series, including Mario Kart 8, is actually going to be the head of the smartphone development team for Nintendo. So Nintendo looks like they're going to take this very seriously.
yeah, it sounds like it. You know, they're playing the creator of one of their most successful games as of late and in charge of this. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Now, we talked about Nintendo's E3 earlier. What they're not going to talk about this E3 is the NX and the mobile games. That's no. And I don't blame them. That's only about the games. NX, they've said it from the beginning. They're not going to talk about it until 2016. It's not 2016, so obviously they're not going to talk about it. I mean, why is that a news story? I don't understand that. They was already talked about. I
don't know.
I just felt to mention to that because it's like, this isn't new news. Like, people should have known this already. That's just me. But,
Yeah.
Now, one last thing about the NX. Nintendo is considering taking off the region locking, which people hate so much, from their future console, including NX and the smartphone device. Well, smartphone no, but really for NX.
Yeah, well, you don't even know what the hell the NX is.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I mean, people still know it's a new console, but it's not going to kill the Wii U. That's the other thing too, because you can still connect your Wii U stuff and 3DS stuff with it too. So yeah, again, nobody knows what the hell it is. Who knows?
Whatever. As long as if they take region lock off it, whatever it is, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really see why I'm playing a Japanese game anyway, but the European games maybe.
Yeah, because it's Europe. It's at least some sort of English.
Yeah.
it's some sort of English, the better English, but whatever. Now, or the more understandable English anyway. Now, just to confirm, 5 mobile game titles by April 2017. So they have about less than 2 years to get out like a game, or 5 games. One's gonna come up by the end of this year, and apparently 4 next year, or maybe 3.
All right. I'll be waiting.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be the first one downloading that. I'm waiting for that. I was gonna blow up the iTunes and Android store.
Oh, God.
What?
You're like, I'm the first one. Like, no.
I'm gonna be the first one in line, man. I'm gonna be
There's
waiting on
people
my mobile
already
phone.
in line. Are you in line?
There's no line. There's no line
queue.
for this. There's a queue.
Internet queue.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Now, some surprising news too that came out of nowhere is the fact that Universal Studios, it has come to Nintendo and wants to make a theme park of Nintendo stuff.
And I want to live there.
Now, people have been talking about this Nintendo theme park ever since the game Nintendo Land came out. It's like, imagine Nintendo had a real theme park. Wouldn't that be cool? Universal wants to make that a reality.
And I want to buy a house there.
And it's to a point where even Nintendo was surprised not only by the offer by Universal, but what Universal had in store, or the ideas that Universal had for this theme park, where Nintendo was like, whoa, okay, dude, really?
Hey, whoa, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and that's coming from Iwata. He didn't react like that, but they were actually surprised by how extremely detailed the plans were. So that's more specific, not a
Awesome.
whoa, dude. But yeah. Now, of course, as far as that, Iwata also dropped hints about film and video content for Nintendo products. So that's just putting out there, but we'll see. Yes, indeed. Now going on to the actual games themselves. Actually, before I do that, Wada talked about the Nintendo membership again, which is something that we already knew. It's just basically that all the devices are going to be connected, including the Wii U, 3DS, and the NX. And of course, the mobile as well. So your screen name is going to cover literally everything. So,
Cool.
But that's all the details that we got from it. So as far as everything else, we don't know until they release an app finally. So I mean, more details are coming out, but we still won't get the final word until we actually see what the hell it is. Now, as far as other games, Pokemon, ORAS, or
Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
it's already sold 9.94 million units.
Can we just call it 10 million units?
Just about 10 million units, yeah. It's already sold like over everything else. So far, Smash Bros. Has sold 3.75 million units. Mario Kart at 5.1 million units sold to date. Remember, we talked about Smash Bros. Being that savior to Nintendo? What happened?
Well, I mean, Pokemon games are always going to be something different.
3.75 million?
That's more Smash being incredibly disappointing.
I guess. You like it.
Oh, I like no. I like the game. It's just this fine. The sales of Smash are disappointing.
Yes. And that's a Wii U version, not even combined with the 3DS version. But
The
yeah,
3DS version did better, didn't it?
no, I guess. I don't know.
I thought the Wii 3DS version of Smash sold pretty well.
Yeah, I think about the same, maybe a little less, but I don't have those figures in front of me. Sorry, Steve. But Mario Kart 8 at 5.1 million, but that's because, Mario Kart has always been the top seller above Smash Bros, so that's never really surprising. But Pokemon, I mean, nobody's really surprised by that?
I'm not surprised by it. I knew Pokemon's always going to be a hit.
Now, speaking of more of game sales, Xenoblade X Chronicles is out in Japan, and they've already sold about 70% of its initial shipment. So that's already sold so far in its first week, 85,000 copies so far, plus, which already outsold the Wii version, which was at 83,000 in its first week. And the 3DS version has sold about 56,000 copies. Damn! That's the 3DS version.
Damn, it's crazy.
And also, too, I think that's all I had for sales. Oh, no, I thought I had one more. Oh, I don't. All right, never mind. Haha, never mind that. JK, I don't. But talking about, actually, I do. Amiibo. Amiibo shipments only, have reached 10.5 million. Now, why I wanted to bring this up, because they also broke down where they're sending it to, which I find hard to believe. I don't know if I believe this. I mean, I don't know math, but 66% of the shipments went to North America.
It's a damn lie.
20% went to Europe, even though Europe has like a ton of them. 11% to Japan and 3% to Australia.
That's a damn lie. I can believe the 3% to Australia because Australia is like, we're struggling. Like, because I'm on Reddit Amiibo. I used to be a lot. I haven't been lately. But the Australians are like, we're dying out here. We have just Pikachus. And then Japan seems pretty healthy.
They're comfortable. Yeah, they like what
and
they
got. Europe's like, if you want to find rare Amiibos, go to Europe because they're not rare in Europe.
Yeah, no, they're like all over the place.
Yeah, you want a Lucario, go to Europe. You want a Nike, go to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
If you want anything in America, you're going to find Mario, Peach, Bowser.
On sale now.
Yeah. Like the 66%, I don't know where the fuck it's going, but it sure isn't coming here. I'm pretty sure there's 60% of that on a ship sunken somewhere in the Pacific Ocean
that they're selling. That reminded me of the Wii U truck that got stolen. Do you remember that story?
Oh, a very long time ago.
Yeah, and whatever happened with that? Like nobody ever what?
Some guy just has hundreds of Wii U's.
And what, did they sell them? Do they know? Like that's just so strange. We never had a follow up to that story of like the missing truck of Wii U's that could be hurting their sales too. They got like 9 million sales and like they could have had 10. Like I don't know. That's just extremely strange that there's like no follow up to that story. It's like, oh yeah, there was all those Wii U's. Yeah, I know, right? Like that's it.
Whatever. But
oh man.
I mean, they probably weren't going to sell anyway. Whatever. It's a Wii U. But I just bought a Wii U.
I know, right?
But it's not the point.
Yes.
The point is that apparently 66% of Amiibos have gone to North America. I call that bullshit because no, where are they?
Yeah, that's a good couple of million that's come here. I don't want to do some rough math because then I have a calculator on here too. I'm not going to do that.
You know what it is? 66 million %. 60% of it is Mario Amiibos, isn't it?
That's probably, you know what? You make a good point. It's probably the commons that are like the high percent.
66% of commons have been here.
Yeah, probably. You make a good point on that one.
So I can believe maybe it is 66% because if you go into like Best Buys or Walmarts or Targets, they have an Amiibo section. It's just Mario, Luigi, Peach, Bowser.
Pikachu.
Yeah, Pikachu. It's all the common ones. So yeah, I can believe the 66%. Just, how many? You should break it down by per Amiibo. Like Mars by like 2% went to North America. Ike's 4% went to America. DVDs,
we need that
5%.
breakdown.
Yeah,
you're
show me where the
right.
actual individual Amiibos are going.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think 90% of Mario's probably came to America, but definitely 2% of Marth's.
Yeah, no, I believe that. I'm with you on that one. If we had the individual breakdown, that would have been better. But I mean, they're only going to give an overview because it's like, this is how many we did. Whatever, have fun with that. They said they're going to meet demands and stuff, but
they're not.
Come on. I
mean, we've been waiting. I've been waiting.
Well, they did re-release Marth. I mean, you have it. You want another one, but it's already gone.
Yeah, well, I didn't get a chance. So.
All right, so moving on. Out of all the franchises, Mario is ranked second of the top selling franchises of all time. Selling anyway. Of course, the first one is Call of Duty. Probably should have had this for all of them, but we wanted to bring it up for Nintendo. Not really going to go down the list. We'll, we'll put a link to that or whatnot. But it's out there. Mario's the second. FIFA's actually third, which is kind of funny. But
well, I mean, you have to think this is a worldwide scale.
Yes, it is.
FIFA might not be that popular here in North America.
It actually kind of is, actually.
I mean, it's relatively popular, but you have to think overseas, FIFA probably is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And then GTA is actually right under FIFA.
Yeah, which, I mean, can't blame it. GTA is awesome.
GTA is popular.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed right under that. That rounds out your top 5. If you want the rest of it, the rest of the list, excuse me. Like I said, Ricky said we'll put it down below.
Now, remember Miyamoto had another game besides Splatoon coming out? He had the Project Giant Robot. That may be coming out in August, possibly. We might get some more, hopefully, some news about this at E3.
Dope.
Because remember, they talked about it being released in the first half of 2015.
Yeah.
So eventually that'll happen.
Sounds pretty dope.
Yeah. If you don't remember the game, I don't either. So sorry about that. We'd give you details, but no. But we do have details on Yoshi's Woolly World, which is coming out very soon in Europe.
I really can't wait to play this.
I want to see if I can buy the Amiibo overseas, because that's probably the best chance I have of getting those Amiibo, before they come out in September here.
I don't know. I know that the Amiibos are going to give you, like, cool, awesome patterns for the Yoshis and stuff.
The patterns are great, dude. The basic, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like the single color Yoshis we always been familiar with, fine. But then there's like multicolored Yoshis that are like in now, and it's like there's infinite amount of Yoshis that can happen. That's insane.
Yeah, which is, like I said, it's cool, but at the same time, it's like the Amiibo is just so big.
I like it. It's a plush. I want a plush Yoshi. Yoshi's the ish. I love Yoshi.
I like Yoshi too.
I want a good, and then that's the best looking Amiibo out of all the Yoshis, in my opinion. Anyway, I don't like the Smash Bros. One.
I like the Smash one
because he's like in the stitches. You can see he's like pieced together. I don't like that. He doesn't look. He just looks weird. But the whatchamacallit, the Super Mario.
I don't like
Brothers,
the Super Mario Brothers.
The stand up straight doggy one. No, I hate that one.
Dapper ass Yoshi.
But that soft plushy woolly Yoshi, that's the one I want. That's the Amiibo. That's the one I need to get.
I don't know. I'm good with the Smash Bros. One. I think I was talking about, like, unless I magically find an Ike or a Meta Knight or something, yeah. I think Yoshi was going to be my next one to add to the family of friends here.
All right. One other thing about Woolly World. It's going to have a lot of controller support, too. And not only that, the Amiibo, it's not just going to be the Yarn
GameCube?
Yoshi. I'll get to that. Hold on. So the compatible Yoshi is not only the Yarn Yoshi that's going to be compatible, regular Yoshi is going to be too. And basically all the Mario characters too, like Mario, Luigi, Peach, and more, according to the back of the box. So there's something there.
Dope.
All right, one last thing for Nintendo. They slashed the prices on their Club Nintendo for the physical awards only, not the games, the physical awards. So let's say the Mario and Luigi greeting cards, that was 300, now it's 150 coins, so on and so forth. Nothing I can afford because I still have like 135 coins. So
I have 380. I'm deciding what I want to do with them because I just bought Earthbound and Super Metroid.
Nice.
So now I'm like, I have 380. I can either get regular Metroid or I could pick out like some other random game.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm going to go with a regular Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
But I might just go something else. I don't know.
All right. So this is it. This is the last stuff right here that we have. This is, I guess, the League of Legends part. Because Sony stuff, we don't have anything. Our bad. I didn't find anything on Sony or Microsoft. It's been
quiet.
Yeah, it has been. We went through basically everything else. So now League stuff. Something silly from League that Link is playable in League, of course, but via mods.
It's a mod, yeah.
Yeah, but of course, it's a PC. Of course you're going to be able to do that. But of course, Link is in there, so I guess we'll give introductions to that. But we want to talk about last thing, the newest League of Legends champion.
Echo.
Yes. What do you think of that? I want to get your statement.
I mean, they released a video, which
I'm watching,
which is pretty cool. And then I haven't read up on his kit. I've been really busy lately, so I don't really know exactly what it does. I actually don't even know if they released his kit. So I don't know. He looks interesting. It's one of the things too that like Riot's been for a while. Riot was just releasing the same kind of champions over and over, but their last couple ones have been different. They've all had unique aspects to them,
which is good or bad.
It's interesting. It turns out to be good or bad. I mean, it's whatever. But like Rek'Sai had the burrowing thing, and when you're underground, your vision was limited, so you couldn't see all that much, but you had to rely on like enemies like pinged. So you knew where they were by pinging. Like it gave you a greater area of sight without seeing anything. And Bard had, the little chimelings that you picked up, and you became more powerful as you got the chimelings, and had the ult that was like the Zonias, which is pretty cool. And now this guy, I guess he's kind of, in a way, I guess he's kind of like Zillion, where he deals with like rewinding time and stuff, but I don't know how exactly how this is gonna work.
All right, here we go. We have some abilities. Passive Z Drive Renaissance. Echoes damaging spells and attacks build up Renaissance stacks on his enemies. Every third attack against the same target triggers Echo's passive, dealing bonus damage and slowing his enemy. If he triggers his passive on an enemy champion, Echo also gains a strong movement speed buff.
Okay, that's cool.
Lanning. There's a long paragraph for that one. I don't know if I want to go into that one.
Is that just like a, what is that? Is it an ability? Hold on, let me
I don't know. Yeah, it's on the League of Legends website looking. Skirmishing, let's see, raw power to burst down his targets. So relies more on his cunning than his strength. As two teams start gathering, he needs to look for opportunities to skirmish, harassing, and chipping away his targets.
I think you're just reading like a guide.
I guess, but I mean, it said some stuff. I don't know, man. I'm reading stuff. I don't know much about the Leagues of Legends. This is here. You read it. If you don't see that on the audio version, I'm just passing Steve my laptop.
Oh yeah, all right. You were just reading like a guide. You have to actually click on the different like pictures up here. So his passive was Z Drive. We read that. His Q is Time Winder. Echo throws a device into target direction, damaging all enemies along its path. Once it reaches max distance or hits an enemy champion, the device expands, creating a field that slows all enemies and neutral units. After a moment, the device contracts and rushes back to Echo. Fuck, I'm tired as fuck. Dealing extra damage to all enemies in its path. So okay, so I guess he throws something out and then it widens and then comes back to him. Which
is, I guess, a good kind of attack.
Yeah, it's cool. His W is parallel convergence. That's a mouthful. Echo's basic attacks deal bonus damage to low health targets. That's a passive on it. Active. Echo opens a time rift, creating an alternate reality copy of him that tosses a device to a target location.
That's just weird.
What? It's like, I mean, that's kind of like Thresh Lantern, maybe. After the delay, the device expands into a broad slowing zone. If Echo enters the sphere, detonates, granting him a shield while stunning it. Okay, that's cool. Stuns enemies. Because I think that's that like his rewind kind of thing that he was doing in the video that you saw.
Yeah. Which looked awesome. I just didn't.
The E is phase dive. Echo dashes a fixed distance towards the target area. Once his initial dash is ended, Echo gains greatly increased range on his next basic attack and blinks to his target to deal damage and apply on-hit spell effects. So it's a gap closer. I guess a lot of champions have been getting gap closes lately,
which is good.
I mean, it kind of screws over 80 carries.
Okay.
Because your 80 carry doesn't really have a gap closer, and it's kind of the one who your marksman rather, who sits in the back, kind of sniping people.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of champions lately have had gap closers, so kind of just you have to know how to play against them.
Okay.
Play around them. And his ultimate is Chrono Break. Echo rewinds time, briefly turning untargetable and invulnerable before reappearing wherever he was a few seconds ago. Once he reappears, Echo recovers a portion of his health he lost over those few seconds while dealing tons of damage to all nearby enemies. Interesting.
Sounds
so I guess it's kind of like in a way that's kind of like Galio's, where Galio just turns into stone, has a taunt where everyone in the area, depending on how much damage he takes, he sends out damage. So I guess that's interesting. I guess we're gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to see video and gameplay to see how it really looks.
Yeah.
And in a way, he sounds like a bunch of champion abilities mashed into one thing, so he doesn't sound as unique as I thought he would be.
But, I mean, it's still beneficial to a lot of people anyway, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Would it be beneficial?
I mean, like I said, I think he's just a bunch of interesting features of other champions made into one guy.
So,
I mean, it's cool.
All right.
We'll see. We also have I have one more thing too.
Oh.
As far as League of Legends goes, on the competitive side,
yes.
Hai retired from Cloud9.
Oh, okay.
He was their shot caller. He was like their main guy. But
we talked about him, right?
Right. He's the one who, after he had wrist surgeries and all kinds of health problems, he retired. We talked about that. Cloud9 has in fact announced their replacement.
Okay.
Incarnation. One of the remember
he was
one of the ones who was suspended.
It's like following up. Yeah, we talked about both these stories. He was suspended.
Yep.
Now he's back on Cloud 9.
He got reinstated, and
Cloud 9.
He's actually, people have been like, Incarnation's really good. So
that could be really beneficial to Cloud 9.
It's going to be incredibly beneficial. I mean, I just hope that someone takes over the shot calling role, because that's one thing High did for that team. He was a shot caller. I mean, now I think he's just in their management, because, he's been with that organization. He was one of the founding players of it. So how can you just be like, all right, peace, like, kick him out? Yeah. No, he's in their management still. But Incarnation is their new mid laner. He's one of the top guys in Europe. He transferred over.
Makes everything interesting for the rest of the season.
Yep. Incarnation definitely has an upside.
Mm-hmm. So, and especially an outcasted player. So, I mean, how do you think the crowd reaction is going to be? You think he's going to get a lot of support, a lot of boos?
I think he's going to be fine. He's on Cloud 9. He went
to,
I think the only better place he could have possibly gone would have been TSM, because everyone would just cheer him regardless.
Yeah.
But Cloud 9 is definitely a North American favorite.
Yeah. So
next to TSM, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good fit. I like it. Because I'm a Cloud 9 fan.
Of course.
I've been a fan for them when they were Orbit, so don't even be like, oh, you bandwagoner. No, I liked them when they were Orbit. Back when they missed the LCS, when they first tried to qualify.
He remembers.
I do.
So I think that's it. That's everything we got for today.
That's it.
For this week anyway. So, I mean, you catch our Twitters at Tarek.
At Steve B. Agilism.
And you'll see our 2 Broke Gamers Pod on Twitter. That's the number 2 Broke Gamers Pod. And, of course, the WordPress, 2brokegamers.wordpress.com or 2brokegamerspodcast.wordpress.com.
And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Share it. Just help us out.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys next week. Love you too. Peace.
Shit.
Love y'all.